just finished I Gave You Eyes and You Look Towards Darkness by Irene Solà, and I want to talk about it. This novel is a fantastic blend of cultural folklore with an undercurrent of political tension and violence and trauma borne out through the bodies and lives of the women in these novels. Told from the perspective of several women within one family, we start many, many years ago in a timeline that becomes more apparent as the novel progresses. Joanna is desperate to find a husband with land. And so she makes a deal with the devil after feeling ignored by God. In an exchange for a whole man, she is willing to sell her soul. But Joanna thinks that she can renege on this deal once she has everything that she wants. But unfortunately, the devil comes for what he was promised. As a result, every single one of her descendants is born with something vital missing. One child has a small heart, one is born without a liver, one without a tongue, a few don't survive at all. Through one of the women, whose name is Margarita, we learn how the family has endured some of the tumultuous periods in Spanish history. We eventually begin to see the political tension and trauma between the Republicans versus the nationalists, of course, the fascists, and then the more left wing government bear out on the page. And I love the way that Sola slowly reveals this information woven throughout the folkloric tales that she infuses into this story at every turn. The house plays a central role in the construction or deconstruction of these women's reality. I guess you could say that at the end of the day, this is a ghost story and it takes place in a haunted farmhouse, but I feel like that oversimplifies what's really happening here. We are all a context of our environments. The farmhouse acts as an anchor for each of these women's identities, experiences, encounters with the devil, this figure that sort of haunts the family throughout and then physically becomes part of their lineage. And you begin to ask yourself, is the devil a real literal character, or is he a culmination of this patriarchal power that corrupts, destroys, steals, and manipulates? We see how men are, with the exception of two characters, men are the arbiters of sexual abuse, violence, and death. She breaks down the barrier between time, past, present, human bodies, animal bodies, and the constant blurring of all of these lines make this book so atmospheric and magical and yet very haunting and brutal at times.